From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordeaux, and this is your News 8 Daily for Wednesday, January 1st of 2025. Breaking news on this New Year's Day, devastating violence on Bourbon Street. Authorities say someone plowed a truck through a crowd, fired shots on the famed street overnight in New Orleans. Justin, AP is also reporting that the man who did it died in a gunfight with police. News 8's Colin Bailey is following the developing story and dire numbers.
10 dead, at least 35 injured, and authorities warn those numbers may still grow. CNN is now reporting law enforcement officials tell us that the suspect is dead. The FBI is taking over the investigation right now. The FBI says that this man, in their words, hellbent on causing carnage, driving a pickup truck around barricades into the crowd on New Orleans' famed Canal on Bourbon streets earlier this morning during the New Year's celebration. The New Orleans Police Department says this happened around 3:15 local time this morning. NOPD says after the man intentionally drove into the crowd, he then got out and fired a gun at officers. NOPD says that 2 officers were shot. They are in stable condition at a local hospital. The FBI is now leading the investigation and is not calling this a terrorist event. First responders say they believe the majority of the victims are local.
We have information to a certain degree of the demographics of those who are in the hospital right now. We do not know at this point how many could be tourists versus locals, but from the information I have right now, it seems the majority are locals versus tourists.
First responders say to stay away from Bourbon Street today as their investigation continues. We do know that Notre Dame is playing Georgia this evening at the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. We do not know if there is any connection to the state of Indiana. Police will also be giving us an update at 11 o'clock Central Time this morning. That will be about noon our time. As soon as we get those updates, we'll bring them to you on air and online as well. I'm Colin Bailey for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
Here in Indiana, people rang in the new year with wet conditions. Cooler start now this morning. We are going to be into the 30s. We're going to dip down from here the rest of the week in the new year. Could even have some flurries this afternoon. Here in Indiana, no word yet of arrests after a 4-county chase. The Hamilton County Sheriff says it started yesterday morning with a call that someone in a mask pointed a rifle at a man in a neighborhood near Fortville. A deputy later spotted and tried to pull over a possible suspect car, but says it took off. The chase that followed spanned parts of Hamilton, Hancock, Madison, and Henry counties, where deputies finally broke it off. Soon after that, Middletown police found the car, crashed and empty. Witnesses say 2 men ran from it into a farm field. Dogs, drones, and extra officers searched but did not find them. Wish TV is your education station. A state lawmaker wants to give teachers a big pay raise and make it easier for families to access the state's pre-K program. News 8's government reporter Garrett Bergquist lays out what it could mean for your kids.
Education, including teacher pay, played a big role in Governor-elect Mike Braun's campaign. One Democratic state senator says he sees an opportunity for bipartisan cooperation on those issues. Indiana ranks 41st out of 50 states for average teacher pay. That's according to the Indiana State Teachers Association. Both parties raised that issue during the governor election. Here's what Governor-elect Mike Braun told me a few days before Election Day.
When you're investing currently $245,000 into a classroom annually, when you look at teacher pay, maintenance, upkeep, depreciation, there's a lot that we're putting into the classroom that probably needs to be devoted more to teachers and instruction as opposed to building, plant, and equipment and the maintenance of it.
State Senator Fatty Cadora this week filed legislation to raise minimum teacher pay from the current $40,000 per year to $65,000 per year. He says this will help Indiana schools attract and retain good quality teachers.
The direct impact on our students, on our kids, is to be able to have a stable classroom with a teacher that can build the relationship and invest in these students all year long.
Cadora's bill also would increase the amount of basic funding each school receives by 6% in each of the next 2 years. And it would raise the income limit to qualify for On My Way pre-K. A family of 4 making nearly $58,000 per year would qualify.
If we invest in the minds of young people, research tells us that these young people will be able to most likely succeed in K through 12 and post-secondary education. So rather than just spend money on attracting jobs that we can't fill, let's start investing in the brains and the intellect and the skills and abilities of young people as early as possible.
Kaddour says he's heard from members of both parties who say they agree, at least conceptually, on education funding. He says he's confident the ideas in his bill will reach Braun's desk in some form. I contacted both the Republican chair of the Senate Education Committee and the State Teachers Association. Neither of them were available to comment on Kaddour's bill.
We have a budget of $40+ billion. So the question is not whether or not Indiana can afford to raise teacher salaries and fund our schools adequately. The question is, what are the priorities in the budget to be funded?
The 2025 legislative session begins on January 8th. It's scheduled to go until no later than April 29th. At the State House, I'm Garrett Bergquist for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
The former First Lady of Indianapolis has died. Beverly Hudnut passed away Sunday from brain cancer. She married Bill Hudnut late in his long run as mayor after working for him as a press secretary. If you want to pay your respects, the family is asking for donations to the Hudnut Scholarship in Public Leadership. Beverly Hudnut was 66 years old. Watch your speed on the northeast side because cameras will be watching you. NDOT is moving its Safe Zones project from I-70 to the I-69-465 construction area as soon as today. News 8's Hernan Gutierrez is in the news spot and tells us the cameras may be live today, but tickets don't start yet.
NDOT says there's going to be a sort of trial period for at least 30 days. They're calling it a pre-enforcement period. If you get caught speeding in one of these Indiana safe zones, you'll just get a warning via mail that you were speeding. It is in the construction areas around I-69 and I-465 in that clear path project area. Signs will be posted as you enter and leave active work zones, letting you know that photo enforcement is active. Timing devices will monitor your vehicle as you go through those areas. If you are going 11 miles per hour or faster than the posted speed limit, a camera will take a picture of your back license plate. NDOT spokesperson Kylie Kramer says they hope this will encourage people to slow down.
Right now in ClearPath, we are seeing speeds up to 50, 60, up to 80 almost. And folks really need to slow down as that zone is 40 to 45. We are not only doing this for the protection of our workers, but also the motoring public, as 4 out of 5 people who are killed in work zones are either the driver or the passenger.
According to NDOT, the first 4 months of the program saw a more than 70% decrease in speeding. They also say that similar programs in Maryland and Pennsylvania have also seen success. Once enforcement starts, drivers will get a warning in the mail for their first violation, a 75% fine for their second violation, and any violation after that, they will get a $150 fine. Though it is important to note workers do need to be present for the violations to count. The Indiana Safe Zone program is in a 5-year pilot phase. Every year during that time, NDOT will gather data and present it to the General Assembly at least once a year. Reporting in Indianapolis, I'm Hernan Gutierrez, Wish TV, wishtv.com. Follow us on Facebook for updates.
Plea deals are going forward for 3 men long accused in the 9/11 terror attacks. The group includes Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, said to be a key player of the attacks. An appeals court through the Pentagon has approved the deal, clearing the way for it to go forward early this month at Guantanamo Bay. The 3 have agreed to plead guilty to war crimes and receive sentences of life in prison instead of facing the death penalty. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin tried to throw out the deals in August, but the judge in the case ruled Austin acted too late and overstepped his authority. New on Daybreak, 2 actors are adding more court action to their very public spat. Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni have filed new lawsuits. Lively took first action last month with a complaint accusing Baldoni of sexual harassment and retaliation while the 2 were filming the movie It Ends With Us. Baldoni then sued the New York Times for publishing Lively's account with what Baldoni claims are inaccuracies and misrepresentations. Lively has now filed suit against Baldoni, alleging harassment and a coordinated campaign to attack her reputation for coming forward about her treatment on the set. Notre Dame plays today for a spot in the college football playoff semifinals. The Irish take on Georgia in the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. As long as the game goes forward as it is planned to, the winner goes on to next week's Orange Bowl. Today's game is the next step toward a national title, but Notre Dame's head coach insists that's a goal, but not his main goal.
Yeah, everybody has an obsession with winning the national championship, but my obsession is to get this program to reach our full potential. And if we reach our full potential, if the result of that is earning a national championship, great. But we don't walk into the office every day and say, let's win a national championship.
Notre Dame and Georgia kick off the Sugar Bowl tonight at 8:45. Penn State awaits the winner. The Nittany Lions clinched the first semifinal spot with a win in last night's Fiesta Bowl. The other side of the bracket, Texas plays Arizona State in the Peach Bowl this afternoon. Then Ohio State faces Oregon in the Rose Bowl this evening. The Indiana Pacers head into 2025 coming off a very frustrating loss. They had a huge lead over the Bucks midway through the third yesterday afternoon. Ben Mathurin three-pointer pushed the gap to 19 points. Then the Pacers gave it all up and more. Final was 120-112.
We lost our aggression. We lost everything that got us a pretty significant lead, and we gave them a great opportunity to not only get it back in the game, but win the game. And going to have to learn some hard lessons from this and get ready to bounce back.
Next up, the Heat in Miami tomorrow night. A first candidate for first baby of the new year, Community Health says Lainey Goetz arrived at 227 this morning at Community North. Goetz weighs 7 pounds and 2 ounces, and she's 20 inches long. Parents, Mom, Bethany, and Dad, Robert Goetz, are from Indianapolis. Boomers, Xers, Millennials, Zs, and Alphas, make room. There's a new generation starting today. Sociologists have dubbed babies born in 2025 and beyond Generation Beta. Distinctions for the new group: it will be the first with artificial intelligence as part of everyday life rather than a new novelty. Beta is also likely to be the first in which many, possibly most, will live into the 22nd century. This has been your News 8 Daily from Wish TV. I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook for updates.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go, connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.